are live this morning with Professor Eric Leitner from Broward County, Florida, and of course my good friend Mr. Washburn, who I've been getting to spend a lot of time with over the last week and such. I kind of chuckle because we were looking forward to spending time together at South by Southwest, which got canceled, and I think we've spent more time together having it been canceled.
That's right.
So it's been great. We are super excited because Eric has been working, and he'll be, of course, sharing this in greater detail, but on a number of build challenges in Minecraft. And we're going to be releasing them one a day for the next, today and then all through next week. We're doing this kickoff this morning and again at 3 p.m. on the Esports Fed or the NASEF channel. And then all of next week at 3 p.m. on the NASEF channel is where these will be released one by one. And I am going to stop talking and hand it over to Eric, who I'm so excited to have share what we've been working on.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on. This is great. And I'm very excited to do this stuff. So needless to say, I probably was as disheartened as everyone to kind of be running all these programs, doing all these things in my school district, only to find out that everything was kind of falling apart. And very rapidly, we were stuck at home and figuring out ways to do remote learning, distance learning. And I said, you know what? I had come up with some Minecraft challenges for the district before. Maybe I can come up with some that they can do at home. I really like to tie them in with current events or things that are happening in the world. So for example, as part of our engineering Olympiad, I had already had a challenge in our district where students had to design we called it the Sea Level Rise Challenge, which obviously in South Florida is a serious concern. So they had to design a kind of future coastal community with things like sea level rise and global warming in mind. So that was a lot of fun, and I still have students in our district submitting that one. By the way, hint to those students in my district who are doing that, you can probably put these two projects that we're about to share together. But in the meantime, I started developing ones that we could do around what's going on in our world right now. How can we get kids engaged in learning about what the experience around us is right now, dealing with the coronavirus, with COVID-19, being stuck in our own homes, probably in need desperately of an outlet, needing some sort of engagement, needing a level of social, emotional context or learning. And to be honest, one of the best ways to deal with situations like this, to be honest, is education. If we educate ourselves about what is happening around us, what is going on in the world around us, maybe it seems a little less scary and a little bit more just tangible and real and understandable. And that's what I want the kids to experience, but I also want the kids to have the opportunity to share the knowledge they're learning in a way that is meaningful to them. So their own personal experiences, how it's affecting them directly, what would be positive for their lives, but also the information they're learning about it and all the things they're getting bombarded with from the media, probably from their families and their parents having those conversations around them. How can we make that meaningful? So we are really fortunate because in our district, which is huge, it's the 6th largest district in the nation. We have 235 schools, 265,000 plus students that I serve. We have Minecraft education accounts already for every single one of those students. And the number of daily and monthly active users is growing exponentially, even though technically it's only been out there for a few months officially.
That's, if I could stop there for 1 second.
Oh, absolutely.
That is incredible. And, I mean, I know actually my wife has been down there doing some training. And
big shout out.
Yeah, big shout out to I Wear the Crowns, who hopefully will be joining us with video and her in a moment. But what I think is so neat is that you're able to do that. And I know a lot of districts that have widespread availability, but aren't really actually implementing. So I would love to just hear briefly about how you've been able to get your teachers so involved, because I think that's a challenge in a lot of districts. And I think it's so amazing what you all have done in Broward County.
Well, to be honest, one of the big ways we've gotten this word out and gotten people excited is right over here in the photo screen next to me. So Kathy, of course, working with I2E, has been one of our fantastic partners in coming and training our teachers. We've got, I think, 200 plus teachers now officially trained on Minecraft. And it's one of the most demanded courses, admittedly, with all the things going on around us and testing and sub shortages, which are all things students, teachers, staff have had to deal with. That's dwindling. But the best part about it is that almost all of those teachers that have come into that room, and Kathy, I think, can back me up on this, are in there because their kids want to do it.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So the kids are going, please, Mr. whoever their teacher's name is, please, we want to do Minecraft in the classroom. Now, the teacher has no idea. That teacher may or may not be a CS teacher, may not be a teacher that is comfortable with the notion of stepping out of the role of being the expert in the room and becoming the facilitator in the room. Trust me, if I could shout out a bunch of teachers, I'm hoping Miss Brunt is watching right now. She is one of those teachers. Miss Hollander has been amazing. But they have stepped into that role, and there's so many more. I'm not going to list them all. And I apologize if there's anyone I didn't shout out, but there have been so many.
But that's so awesome, and
Yeah.
that's not what every teacher is willing to do. So there's something special about what's happening there, and about the relationship I think the kids have with their teachers. That their teachers are truly listening and embracing that. So I'm just thrilled to hear that.
Well,
And the
then I
second
think it
huge.
also
Oh, go, Kathy, please.
speaks to the relationship that the teachers have with Eric and the Broward STEM team.
You're muted.
I'm muted. All right.
I'm only talking to Steve. Hello.
We could hear you through his mic a little bit.
Okay,
All right.
so now you can hear me twice.
I'll mute.
Okay, so what I think I was trying to say was that it also speaks to the relationship that the teachers have with the Broward STEM team. You know, that they trust you, that they say, oh, this is an initiative, I will try that. You know, and that's not always the case. So, yeah, I love the team in Broward.
We love you too. Not gonna lie. We're just gonna say it. We love you too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a fantastic. This is the other thing about it. There's a fantastic community, a global community of people surrounding Minecraft and using Minecraft in education. I've met so many people who I've never actually met face to face, and I already consider myself close with those people. We share ideas back and forth, and I've never met those people. And I'm wondering if some of those people are in the chat. So I've probably got some people who I've met via Twitter or at a convention or literally just word of mouth and emailed back and forth. There's probably a few of them in the chat, I hope. And if not, maybe this afternoon. Maybe I'll get a little closer sense of community. But that has been phenomenal. So everything around this program, everything with Minecraft has been phenomenal. And one of the other things I'll say about how it has spread in our district is that it has gone, and for lack of a better term with the modern events and the current events, is it has gone viral in our district. So it's a positive viral thing in our district right now, especially amongst, and I was surprised, and then when I paused and thought about it, I was like, this makes perfect sense, among media specialists. So we had one or two phenomenal media specialists in our very first training. Those media specialists couldn't believe what they were seeing, had all these phenomenal ideas. As soon as they left, I mentioned Miss Hollander just a few minutes ago. She is one of those phenomenal media specialists. And all of a sudden, our trainings were having, 3 or 4 sessions. And some of those sessions, all 30 people in the room, media specialists. And we're like, what is happening here? And the reason is those media specialists are passionate. They love this. They found a way to bring this into ELA, to reading, to teaching good strategies, to teaching being a good digital citizenship, which is something that media specialists now address, or a good digital citizen. Something that media specialists, didn't occur to me, but they're doing computer science in those rooms before they even realized that there were standards for computer science. So that has been amazing. And our media specialists have done a really fantastic job with that. And I'm guessing the people in the chat are dying to see what some of the challenges are going to be. They kind of already know the first one, but we wanted to kind of walk through the process, go over some of the rules and guidelines, which you really weren't getting if they were just kind of jumping into that Flipgrid link that I shared. And to be honest, I shared that Flipgrid link early, thinking, oh, if people are interested, they can take a look. And there's been so much feedback for it. When Minecraft Education tweeted it out, I admittedly took screenshots and shared it with my family, and I was like, totally a nerd giddy moment right now, So that was one of those things. I'm not gonna lie. It's not just the kids who like being popular on social media, as it turns out.
Yeah, let's play some Minecraft.
I think so, yeah. So I know we've got a realm open, and we're going to be doing some live building in that realm. On my screen, though, I do want to share, and I know we can probably throw the link into the chat as well. Now, keep in mind, there will be an official, I know it's being worked on right now, there will be an official page, NASEF page with a NASEF link. Steve, I don't know if you've got that one that we can throw into there. You are also muted.
I don't think I have that link currently, but
Okay.
we'll make that available.
We will make that available. And that's where all the rules, guidelines, anything like that are going to be. But I do want to share right now, and we do have the link. Let me go ahead and share I've got my screen shared. And I want to jump over to flipgrid.com. And I'm right here. Now, my code up here is going to look a little different. So let me change that real quick so that it looks like the one you should be going to, which is this one right here. So the link for this is flipgrid.com/Minecraft COVID-19. And some of you have probably been here already. So I threw that out there just about a week or two ago. Well, about a week ago. Not even, actually. A few days ago. Anyway, with this idea of let's just give people something to get started with. And I wanted to come up with a simple thing that anyone at any age level could kind of jump into that was meaningful to them, that they could address. And the number one thing, of course, especially here and then now everywhere, is that a lot of us are stuck home. And how are we dealing with that? How are we coping with that? Is our house, the one you're stuck in right now, the place where you want to be stuck? So we created our first challenge. And by the way, this website is where all of the challenges are going to be. So if you see this header, you're in the right place. And over here, you'll see Minecraft Stuck at Home Challenge. Now, Minecraft Education sent out my original tweet. I sent out an original tweet, and that was not this fully developed page yet that I just kind of want to make public so that people could throw out there. So the first challenge is still kind of out there, just open. It's public. You can log in as a guest. You don't need to. But moving forward, we want all of the challenges to kind of be in one place. We are asking that there be a login for the remainder of the challenges because we want to make sure that we are protecting student privacy, that we're protecting or considering things like FERPA, which I don't want to get into the legalese too much, but we are trying to protect the identity of our students, which is something as a digital citizen we do teach our students to do for themselves. So I've got some information in here about that and how they can submit in a safe and positive way. And that also allows us, so we're managing the site. We are managing the submissions. We are getting all of the submissions no matter what. So if you submitted, even if you don't see it on the page, we've got it and we're looking at it. And we're going to score things and kind of look over things and talk. We'll talk today about how we're going to do that. But ultimately, we can't post it if certain things are not done correctly. So if you want us to post it, if you want us to share it, then please follow the guidelines as they are. And that way we can actually share out what you're doing. Your identity will be protected and it'll make the site grow. It'll be great. So let's start off with the first challenge. And there have actually been some submissions already. Some of them I've got behind the scenes because we're working with them to make sure they submit in a way that we can share it out. I've shared some of the videos on Twitter. And by the way, if you need my Twitter, it's the same name I'm using right here in the video. So that @_ or @Professor_Eric with a K. By the way, it's amazing that my name has a K and it doesn't matter how many times people email me. In the email, it says my name, and then right under they'll go ERIC. Hi, Eric. And, doesn't matter. I'm sure our students feel the same way when we mispronounce their names or misspell their names, so I get it. But anyway, here's our Minecraft Stuck at Home challenge. And if we scroll down, we see the challenge itself. And in this one, we are agreeing that being stuck at home for weeks can be dull. And right now, we're looking at weeks of being stuck in our homes. So let's give the students a way to design the home they would want to be stuck in. And what would that be? And by the way, if you're reading any of this, you start to see where my fandom nerdiness is kind of sneaking out. So what would your epic dream home be? Would it be a boat, a starship, a castle, a Jawa sand crawler? Yeah, there's my nerdiness sneaking out a little bit right there. What would be in that house? Are you going to have an 800-inch screen TV, which I don't even know if that exists. It probably does now. I haven't been to CES in a while. Probably exists. Will you have an indoor pool, an IMAX movie theater right in your home? Where would it be? Is it going to be a house on the beach, underwater, on the moon? on another planet altogether. And then they're going to submit, very simply, a 3-minute video. But I've created over here, and I know you see one of my awesome teachers, by the way. This is Miss Skurnick. Hi, I hope Anne is watching. Another fantastic teacher that has really, really spread the message on the news, by the way, here in South Florida. She has spread the message of Minecraft in the classroom. So phenomenal. But please watch this video first, because in that video, I do explain to students. So students, if you're watching, in your video, not to share your own image. Please share your screen or film your screen. And we'll talk about some ways today that you can do that. Also, at the end of it, it's going to ask you to take a selfie. And I'll walk through this in a little while. Please also know that you can cover your face in the selfie. So you can take a big emoji and put it over your face. There are filters, like a pixelated filter, so that you look pixelated, so that no one can see or identify you from the photo. Your name, we can edit if we need to. But if you're using your default account, it's going to automatically default to first name and last initial. So it's never going to share your full name, which is great. So we're going to walk through that in just a little while. I know we've got some people in the realm right now. Should we see what's getting started in the realm? And then we'll jump back here, because while I've got you in the realm, maybe we can capture some footage of what is going on in the realm. And maybe we can capture some footage and show you how to submit using some footage that we capture while you're working.
Yeah, go ahead. And are you in the game?
So I'm in it right now, and I know you're in there as well. In fact, I think this morning you were working on kind of starting in this really magnificent glass dome floating in the ocean. By the way, this would really be a really great idea for any of those that are my students working on that sea level rise challenge, right? If we had a nice floating dome like this in the ocean, might be a good way to do it. Looks like you're still.
We could show you how to make a floating dome in the ocean.
Yeah, that's not a bad. I think you did that earlier this week. I was saying for some of our challenges, those who tuned into your earlier videos are going to have kind of a leg up. So it looks like right now we're still kind of cleaning house, finding a place to build, straightening things out, and that's great. But I do want to share some ways that we can capture that video. Now, one of them, it's going to be hard for me to show because it's an overlay. But if you are on a Windows 10 computer, and actually you can kind of just test this real quick while you're sitting there on your Windows 10 computer. If you hit the Windows key and G, you will bring up, if you're up to date in your Windows, you will bring up the game bar, the Xbox game bar. And in the Xbox game bar, there are some really fantastic tools, some that help you monitor your CPU usage and your computer usage, some that help you establish things in chat and so on, or find your friends list. But also there are some tools to screen capture. And one of those does let you record your game. So if you don't want to get your reflection in the monitor as you're recording, if you don't want to show your face, obviously, or have someone film you on your computer where they may capture you in that footage, screen capturing is the way to go, because then all we're getting is the feed from your computer, which is not only going to give us the best clarity image of what you are working on, but we're also going to ensure that you are not showing up in there. So that is a really great way to do that. Additionally, you can also, and most people don't know this, you can also get screen captured video through PowerPoint. So almost everyone who's using Windows 10, and even a lot of our Mac users, are using PowerPoint. So I actually want to do that right now, because that one I can demonstrate for you. How to use something like PowerPoint, a very simple Windows tool, to screen capture video that I can then save and upload. Uh-oh, somebody has left the realm. We need to get them back in. Put them back to work. All right, so I am going to escape out of here. And I've got PowerPoint open. So here's PowerPoint. And I've got nothing in this PowerPoint. I opened a brand new PowerPoint. It's literally asking me to create the first slide right now. I'm not going to bother doing that. I just want to use this as a screen capturing tool. And there is a way to do that. So if you can see my mouse up on that top bar, and I'm in the Windows 10 version of PowerPoint, by the way. So things in Mac might be a little different, but these tools are there. So you'll see the word insert up here at the top, right next to the word home. I'm going to click on insert. And all the way at the right of that top bar, we've got screen recording right there. How many of you knew that was there? I'm guessing some of the educators probably knew that was there. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't say that. The kids probably know that's there and probably taught it to the teachers. So I'm going to click on screen recording. And this you should be able to see. I've now got screen recording tools at the top of my screen. And one of those is select area. And select area lets you drag, and actually I'll go ahead and do that, to decide what area of the screen you want to capture. So you don't have to capture the whole screen. If you don't want to share your toolbar at the bottom there, or your header bar, or any other windows you might have open, you can use this to just kind of capture an area of the screen. And I think that's great because, again, it's another way to make sure your identity is protected. Because if you have a bunch of tabs open, let's say, in a browser as you start to screen record, you may have something up in that browser that A, either you don't want to share, or B, may have some hint to your identity. So using this select area tool limits where you're capturing your video footage, so you don't have to capture everything. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure, by the way, if I have audio on right here, I can talk and record my voice over the video. So I can do a voiceover with that video. So I can explain my creation and explain to the audience what I've built, where it is, why I did it, any of those things that you want to share out, as well as in the following challenges that are coming up. There'll be a lot of things to explain. So you want to capture your voice explaining those things. You may want to have your pointer on. You don't necessarily need it if you're sharing game footage, but it will help you kind of navigate as you're going back into your menus and things like that. So I tend to keep it on. So I'm going to click record. And I get a countdown. 3, 2, 1. And now it's recording. So I can talk over it. I can record. By the way, the fact that we're on mic right now means that maybe it won't capture this because I'm using my mic for multiple things, but I'm going to go ahead and resume game. And now I'm actually recording anything that I do. So if I wanted to show the dome and show what other people in my world are working on, I can capture that footage. I've got a lot of programs running right now, so things are a little laggy, but I can show what everyone is working on building and so on inside the dome. And of course, as we have a structure there to do a walkthrough of the structure and explain all of the things that we built, we would do that full walkthrough. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop that recording by clicking the stop button up there. I can also use Apple or Control Windows Q, as you saw in the prompt. And here's my footage. So I can play this right now to make sure it's exactly what I want. And my voiceover is there, so you can hear me twice, which is really obnoxious. That's not true, Eric. Okay, you get the idea. So at this point, all I really want, I don't want to export a PowerPoint. I'm not asking you to upload a PowerPoint. I want video footage, is to right click and go down. Oh, let me right click a little higher. And you'll see Save Media As. So I'm going to click Save Media As, and I made a temporary folder right here. And I'm going to save this media as, Minecraft footage, whatever you want to call it. Your world or your stay-at-home challenge, name it after the challenge, because if you're going to do multiple challenges over the next week, you might want to name your files so that you remember which one is which. Good naming conventions help. And I'm going to save that one. And that's it. I've just saved an MP4 video of the footage from my game. In fact, at the bottom of here, you can see that it's saving that footage right now. You can see that little bar down there at the bottom. That's my progress bar. So I don't really want to close PowerPoint until that has completed. But it'll take care of that process in the background. And that is all there is to screen capping. The Windows game bar handles it pretty much the same way. It brings up a little toolbar in the corner. You hit the red circle record button. You do your walkthrough. It'll record your voiceover. You can change that in the game bar settings if you needed to. And then, of course, you've got your file. And in Flipgrid, you can upload that file instead of recording directly in Flipgrid. Keep in mind, the submissions do have to be 3 minutes, so keep an eye on the amount of time that you're recording. If you recorded in here a screen cap that's 5 minutes long, and this particular challenge only allows a 3-minute video, it's going to cut it short. It'll allow the upload, but it's going to cut it down to 3 minutes. So it'll just cut out in the middle.
I was also mentioning Screencast-O-Matic, which I dropped the link in. That's a free online screen recording tool as well.
Yeah, I think it drops a little watermark in the corner or something too, but that's not a problem.
Right.
Oh, don't forget the game bar, Xbox game bar.
Yeah, and you talked about the game bar a little bit.
Right. I just can't demonstrate it, unfortunately, because it doesn't overlay and that doesn't show in the screen sharing.
Right. Okay.
But you can Google Xbox Game Bar, Windows 10 Game Bar, either of those. It will give you a walkthrough of it really easily. Windows has some really good tutorials on those. And those are built right into your PC, so it's great. For anyone who's, by the way, playing on other consoles, most of the consoles, if you're doing this on your Xbox, the actual Xbox, and if you're doing it on the Nintendo Switch, for example, all of those also have capture tools. I can't demonstrate those here, but they do have video capture tools that you can then export and share with like social media or things like that, or share to yourself. And then, of course, if you can get that file, you can then upload it into Flipgrid as well.
So while we're at it too, so we're in-game building right now, and the theme of today's, or the first challenge, and all the challenges are going until May. They're just being released day by day. But today's challenge is on building your dream quarantine space. Is that right?
That's it. Yeah. So where would you, since we're all kind of stuck in our homes, what's the place or home you'd want to be stuck in?
Right. So we are starting that, right, Mike? And maybe since you started with our beautiful purple floor, we could talk a little bit about what we want to integrate into our dream space here. Is Mike there?
I'm here. Yeah, I was gonna build a whole bunch of glass houses of different colored glass.
Okay, or glass houses or rooms within this dome.
Yeah, houses. I was gonna make a village because I'm ambitious like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's totally acceptable, of course, for the challenge. Yeah, if you want to make this, again, this is your dome, so everything in here would basically be your quarantine space. So yeah, that's absolutely great. I guess, one of the things when we're stuck in our homes, we realize is maybe we've got too much privacy sometimes. So yeah, I guess a whole glass neighborhood is not so bad.
Everyone needs friends.
Right. At least you could see your friends in the house next door and wave at them through the walls when you're social distancing.
Social distance.
Yeah, that's a term that everyone knows now that no one used like a week ago.
That's right.
And
So
I'm building a glass. Here, I can change to my screen for a quick sec. I'm building a glass tunnel under the ground as well, under the dome as well, with a train track that'll lead out. And
so while you're doing that, let me ask you a question, because this is something that students have asked, because I've done some underwater builds and things in the past too. Is there a best strategy for getting rid of the water?
Yes. And we've kind of recently learned some of this. So I'm going to block off where I am here so that we can show you how this works. So here I am. Okay, so this space here now is squared off. It doesn't have any water, or it doesn't have any access to more water. And if you in creative mode, there's what's called a sponge. And if you drop down a sponge, I'm going to drop down kind of one. Let's do one there. Let's do one there. Let's do one there.
That is magical.
So it sucks up all the water, and then all you got to do is break the sponges, and we're in an empty space.
Wait, so then, I guess, wait. So could you get rid of water with a sponge, not dropping it on the source?
You don't need to, it doesn't have to be the source, like how you.
It does not have to be the source block. So another way to get rid of water is to here, I'll show you, the classic way to get rid of water is if you have a water bucket, and let's just show an example. So the way to see the source. So this is a water of dropped water. And you see it spreads out, but there's one block that is flat here. So the other blocks flow out of this one square. And so this one square is actually a source block of water. And if I click if I clear this one source, the water is going to go away.
Now that's magic.
So I can and so when you pop down a bunch of water like this, let's say, so I have a bit of a problem here. But if I can just identify where the sources are, so it's going to clear that water there, and then I got to find. I can see this one pretty easily, so I'm gonna knock that one out, and then I'm gonna knock. I think, maybe here. You can see that the one other thing that's weird about the flow dynamics of water in Minecraft is that sometimes the source blocks change when you place down replacements. The flow, because of the way that the flow works, I guess. But as you place down blocks, you'll kill the flow. But that sponge trick worked really well. So I'll actually knock this out and show you a quick. We built actually a really cool. Look at pillagers. Get out of here.
Oh,
So over here this is the master sphere, I guess we'll call it, which is pretty cool. It's pretty huge, as you can see. But down here we made a rail, and if you take the rail down into the tunnel, stop flying there for a second. There's actually a tunnel now that goes all the way, except for, all the way. And then it goes down a little bit, and it goes all the way. And this was all water, so obviously we had to clear it all out with sponges, and it goes into an underwater sphere right here. And the weird, funny thing about the way that water flows in this is that if you were to break a block up here, the water would flow right in, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you break the block down here, you can actually escape. You get it right if you figure it out, which I'm not going to. You can actually escape. I think that's why I originally had it the hole quite a bit bigger. But you can escape the dome.
And it doesn't fill up from the bottom.
And it doesn't fill up from the bottom. So
right. And in fact, I think if you break the top and you break the bottom, you can have a flow of water in a stream going from top to bottom.
Oh, sure, you can have an
straight
elevator.
through the dome, right? Straight through the dome as an elevator, without spreading out throughout the dome, right?
I think Guy with the Browns has a question for us.
Yeah.
okay. So I just typed it too. So the inverse.
You got to be unmuted.
We could hear, but yeah. Now we can't hear her at all.
I think
All right,
Steve
so
muted
the
there.
inverse- There we
They
go.
both
Ay,
mute, we
ay, ay.
can't hear
Yeah.
either of
No,
you.
I know. Not even with Steve being as loud as he is. Anyway, what the inverse. So if you had a sphere and you said, "Oh, I want to fill this with water," could you do that quickly? Because someone we did training recently, and the group built an aquarium, and so they were bucketing water throughout, but they were not going to fill it.
Oh, so the question is that just like there's a quick way to get rid of water, is there a quick
Right.
way to add and fill a space completely with water?
Mm-hmm.
I mean no.
No.
Might be where those fill commands come in, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you fill from like the sides, I find it seems to be more efficient filling from the sides of the walls of the container than filling from like the bottom middle,
Right.
which is like your natural inclination is to like just start in the middle of the bottom of the thing and fill up. But I find filling from the sides, because I have had to fill like spaces before, and see, I can get rid of the water just by filling in the space and then knocking it out like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, filling, it's time intrusive. Like it takes time.
Right.
That's a lot. It's a lot harder to fill a giant space full of water than it is to, it seems to be a lot easier to fill a space or to remove water than to fill.
Got it.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
Stempathy, who's that?
That's
Is
Ben.
it Ben? Oh, hi, Ben.
Is that Ben? Hi, Ben. See, that's one of those people that I've started to kind of like
Benjamin Kelly.
meet in the community that, I don't think
Ben.
we've ever had a face-to-face, but someday.
Oh, you should have, because Ben was at the FETC, the FETC, and he won a big prize for best
did
high
win a
school
big
ever.
prize. That's a
Best high
big
school
freaking
ever
deal.
in Canada.
I like
In North
Canadian. Let's go with
America.
Canadian.
Canadian.
It's Friday.
It
It is
wasn't
Friday.
just the best Canadian STEM high school. It was the best North American
Yeah.
No way.
STEM high school. Yeah, Ben's a big
That's-
deal.
I know he's
Ben
a
is a
big
big deal.
deal. I know that. I was just.
And by the way, you know what?
Big deal.
Since Ben
Oh,
is
you
in the
did.
chat,
Wait, he said he thinks he did meet you.
we
Oh,
might
yeah.
have. Yeah.
At the,
It's hard for me to keep track. I'm terrible at all these things. But yeah, big shout out to Ben, though. Ben has created, for those who don't know, and maybe we can share that link too, a set of challenges for classroom teachers also all around the UN Sustainable Development Goals. My teachers in Broward have found those phenomenal. They loved them. So thank you for those, Ben.
Yay, Ben.
Hey Ben, everyone in chat give Ben a shout out. Ben is
right.
Ben is pretty great. Good job, Ben. Stay
Oh,
awesome.
look
buddy.
at him. You guys stop. He said stop.
All right. So while you are all working,
Yeah.
if I could jump back into, I've got the wrong window open. Here we go. If I could jump back into Flipgrid, I want to kind of walk through how to submit and share all of those things that you can do as you're submitting to make sure that we can post your submissions if you would like us to post your submissions. Now, keep in mind, again, if you do a selfie and we see your face, it's only going to us. We're not going to share it out. We're not going to share your identity with anybody, but we can't post that one on social media, or at least we personally can't. Keep in mind, you get a link when you submit to your own video, and you can do whatever you'd like with your link. That's up to you. Please, obviously, keep in mind the things your teachers have taught you about good digital citizenship. Talk to your parents about what you're sharing online. I know that's not something that we always wanted to do as kids, although I shouldn't say that because there was no internet when I was a kid. But we had kind of the same rules around using the phone, using the I'm going to date myself, watch this, around using the CB radio in my dad's car. Yeah. So if your kids don't know what the CB radio is, look that one up.
Nice.
In fact, we were having a conversation earlier about Blockbuster Video, and we wondered if the kids would think that Blockbuster was something in Minecraft.
No, they'll know about Blockbuster because don't they visit there in Stranger Things?
Oh,
That's true. Stranger Things, yes. And in Captain Marvel, she crashes into a Blockbuster Video.
Right.
So they might know those things and go, oh, that's what that is. So there you go. You've got a mental connection now.
I was going to say, Eric, maybe we should put a CB radio in our dream quarantine space, and never know.
That's not a bad idea, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go through a walkthrough of a submission, and I'm going to pretend as a student so that I can make sure, and I'll use the video that I just created. I'll show you how to upload that video so that I can make sure I'm protecting my identity. So this is moderated. I'm going to click on that +sign moderated button. I'm logging in with Microsoft. I have a Microsoft account. You can log in with your Gmail or Google account. Technically, you're supposed to be, and I'm stressing this, 16 to create an account here. So if you're a younger student, please ask your parents to log in for you. Let me go ahead and unshare my camera in StreamYard, just so I can share my camera in Flipgrid. And you should see me now in Flipgrid. You see me in Flipgrid? Maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, you got me. Good. All right. So when you hit the submit button in Flipgrid, you get this camera view. Now you can click record right there and record yourself. We don't want you to do that. But if you're doing this on like a cell phone, and there's an app for cell phones, there's an app for tablets, and you want to use that device to capture your computer screen, you could hit record on that device on your phone and just film your computer screen. Again, don't film your face, film your computer screen. And I can add all sorts of things here, emojis and text on the screen. But if you did a screen capture like I did, this button right here next to the video capture button is an upload video button. And you can upload the video that you took. So if I click in there, oh, that's my other video. Let's go into my videos. It's in my Minecraft videos. There's a bunch of drone footage. And it's right here. I can actually just drag it right in. And there's that footage. By the way, I'm going to pause this. Who noticed that the outfit I'm wearing in the game is the exact outfit I'm wearing today? So shout out if you are really that attentive. So yeah, I made my character really me. This is an outfit I wear almost every day. If any of my coworkers are watching, they're giggling right now because they know it. But yeah, this is an outfit I wear all the time. All right, so I've got my video. It's uploaded in here. I'm going to click next. Now keep in mind there was an add more button. I could clip videos together as long as I've got enough time to work in. You're seeing me in here. So the next step, and that takes me right here once I hit next, is to take a selfie. Now, selfies and identities online, not really a good mix, especially for our students not of age to use things like social media. So we want to make sure that we're using good digital citizenship practices. We're protecting our identity. And there's a couple ways I can do that when taking the selfie. So the first way is there's filters. And one of those filters, which looks like this little 8-bit Space Invaders guy over here, will pixelate my selfie. So now I'm totally pixelated. I can take my selfie and this will work just fine. Really hard to tell who I am. Although if you know me, you'd probably guess it by looking at this pixely one, but definitely a good way to protect the identity. I'm going to take that one off because there's other ways to do it and some of them are more fun. So there are emoji stickers. And let's do the one that's the most like me. No, I'm not feeling that way. That's kind of Corona-y right now. But there's a ton of these. We'll go with the raccoon. I'm feeling kind of trash panda right now. So there's the raccoon. I can resize that. And I can drag it over my face and make myself a big raccoon guy. I can take my selfie. I've got my selfie. Can't tell who I am unless you know this shirt and this beard really well. Hit next. And things are getting a little laggy because it is uploading. There it goes. Now, all we need from you is your display name, because if you've logged in, and again, we're recommending that if you are under 16, have your parents log in for you. That way we have an email address to contact them, and we're going to talk about why we need that. And again, we're not going to share any of this with anyone. Flipgrid has very strict policies on not sharing any user or student information. They are phenomenal like that, and we are adhering to that. But notice it automatically just defaulted me to my name and my last initial. Now, again, do I even need to use that? No. If you've got a screen name, like I use River a lot because it's short for the one I'm using right now. If you've got a screen name or a gamer tag that you like to use, as long as it is appropriate and we can post it, by all means do it. You'll hit submit and you'll get this. Now, once that's done, you can either download your own video, so you have a copy of it. You can get this Flipgrid link. Now that Flipgrid link will take you straight to your video. It won't show your selfie. It'll just show an embedded video. So this is a good link to share. As long as you didn't share yourself in the video, you can share this one out or have your family share this one out on social media about your creation if they're really proud of what you've done. And this is a pretty safe way to share it out. So for example, if I click into that link, and things are slow because I'm running so much right now. All you see is the video I created just floating in a website with the only thing, to be honest, that would identify me here is my gamer tag. But of course, there are plenty of protections around that. So I don't have to accept any friend requests that come in or messages that are trying to connect to that gamer tag. And again, I could have cropped that right out of the video so that my gamer tag never showed at the beginning of the video in the first place. Okay, so that is pretty much the submission process for here. And if I, of course, hit complete, it takes me back here. Now, you won't see your video show up here at the bottom. We are approving the ones that can be posted. So if you don't see it here, and you're one of those people, by the way, who already submitted, if you want to submit again so that we can post it here, you've got your link. But if you want to post it or submit it again in a way that we can post, and we will share it right here as well. We want to make sure we're doing everything we can to protect student identities. Now, again, if you submit it, we still see it on the back end. We're still going to judge it. We're still going to look at it. And we'll talk about what that means in a second about judging. But the great part is we can moderate this. So we're not going to share out anything. Now, the reason that you see Miss S is because that is a teacher who has been helping her students to submit because they're working collaboratively in a world right now, building all of their houses in one space. And yeah, she is one of our phenomenal CS Discoveries teachers in middle school. So she's been submitting the videos for them. So your parents can submit the videos for you. Your teachers can submit the videos for you. You can submit them yourselves if you are old enough or if you have your parents' permission, as long as you're doing it the right way. Okay, so that is everything there is to the submission process. So I am going to turn on my cam over here again so you can actually see me again. And I think maybe I've been talking for like 10 minutes now. Maybe we can see what progress has happened in our dome.
What do we got here?
Oh, by the way, yeah, outfit. You see the outfit now, right?
Yeah, there it is. I've been built a stairway, all cleared out, as you can see. So we could build if someone wanted to build their own dome, they could build, and this one goes right under the master dome, which is kind of cool. You could build a tunnel under there to somewhere else if you wanted to. I'm trying to decide whether I want to build kind of like glass, like a whole glass village, or build like a real village just inside of a glass dome. I'm
one thought I had too, Mike, with regards to the social distancing idea is imagine if the rail cart goes into the different domes but stays within a glass enclosure so that we can, kind of travel to each other's domes but not, not be together.
Right, you need sort of like a decompression or decontamination chamber in each of the spaces where it would stop, right?
Yeah, or maybe too bad we can't have the the rail cart that you're traveling in be enclosed in glass. So then multiple rail cars could be on the track.
imagine that.
Right?
That would be something else. I wonder if there's who was it that did that Rube Goldberg thing? Is he watching this?
He's not, but I think our buddy who did the escape room is.
By the way, I'm just gonna say lots of hints were just dropped. So if you're wondering what's coming, a bunch of hints were just dropped.
What'd you do?
Finally.
Oh, okay. I think I Wear the Crowns made it into the realm after much challenge.
There she is.
There she is. See that? I Wear the
Crowns.
Crowns. It says I Wear the Crowns joined the realm.
I was gonna make this is a first person game. You won't see yourself, but
Pressure plate.
Where's everybody?
We are inside the dome, so if you teleport to any of us, you'll be in here with us.
Okay.
Yes.
But I don't think I have teleport on.
I will give you the permissions you need. Or I can teleport you to us. How about that first?
Okay.
By the way, Mike, can you explain why you're adding these pressure plates? I get it, and it's super cool, but can you explain why?
Yeah. So one of the things that I've been trying to do the last year or so is really step up my game as far as like creative building, and making things like look good. I think it's there's probably a couple ways that I can frame this, but one of the things that I've realized is that I enjoy the art aspect of Minecraft, like the idea that I'm not a very good drawer, for example, but let me tell you, I feel like I'm a pretty good Minecraft builder. I can make things look good. And there's something about the art of Minecraft that I'm really kind of become passionate about. So the idea is to so what I did was I laid down a whole bunch of blocks of the same thing, and then I start breaking out a few of them, and then I start replacing them with a different version of a similar block. So I've got some cracked stone, I've got some cobblestone, I've got some of the normal stone, and then you just like
it adds a really great texture to it. Yeah, it breaks up the monotony. Yeah,
right. So now it looks more like a path. It kind of sticks out like a sore thumb in a purple glass dome, but in the context of like if you were building a kind of a village, or like a town, like in a normal kind of space, this kind of thing would actually look, pretty proper. And then you
Oh, I
can
agree.
do like if you and there's things that you learn as you like when you like take deep dives into the way that you can manipulate Minecraft blocks to do certain things. Like, so for example, you can do something like this. And that's a pretty neat looking, little light post, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that's
looks great.
actually using fences. So the fence, when you put a fence down, one on just in one spot on top of another like that, they actually become little poles. And then you just take the lantern and pop it down underneath, and you got light posts.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that looks great.
So those are pretty nice.
Yeah, I know you can't see it right now, but Steve, you were talking about the little tree fort that I built outside, but that is how I did the stilts for the tree fort.
Why don't we go out there?
What's your spacing for the lamps?
I didn't actually count this time, which is funny because normally I appreciate the question because normally, and Steve can attest to this, normally I would totally have counted the number of blocks and spaced them out in a proper way. So, because again, that's, if you were building and trying to make something look accurate and kind of realistic, I mean, light posts are spaced out in a standard spacing. So, just count the number of blocks, make the next one on this side. And what I was thinking of doing is, I'm almost regretting making the floor purple now because I am really feeling of the idea of building like a village inside this dome that's like glass or grass, like a normal kind of village. Anyways, but yeah, the pressure plates look really cool. Some people have seen use because there's a newer block, a new-ish block, coarse dirt. So sometimes.
So Mike,
People have been
I think I finally figured out our way to build together, because I know that I'm always a little nervous about trying to be creativity is not my strong suit, but I like kind of the patterny kind of stuff. So as we continue these things, if you put down like the light posts and then my task is to continue that all the way down, then you could be the master builder and you could be the foreman and I'll be your
that would be a really great way to organize students in a collaborative build. It really, really would.
So, and that's actually the way that I did it in when I've used Minecraft when I was in the classroom. When I used Minecraft in the classroom, what I absolutely did was I think the first thing you need to realize with any video game use in the classroom is that not every kid wants to press buttons and play the actual game.
Right.
And you have to, like, that looks pretty cool now. I mean,
that
it
looks
might be
great.
It might be a little overkill.
Now,
I think
So
with
I
grass.
I'd like to go back to something you mentioned earlier, Mike, and this will kind
yeah,
of really be
sure.
like, since we only have a few minutes left here, it'll be a really great hint into what we will share for our next challenge on Monday. Now we're redoing this one or rebroadcasting at 2:00, talking about the same things we did. So you'll actually get to see those who tune in at 2, see this grow a little bit, right?
3:00.
3:00. Oh yeah, let's get that right. You are right. 3:00. So
and every day next week, 3:00 on that.
Every day at 3. You're doing some little tricks here that I'm learning from. So I like that. That makes like a cute little garden box. But you had mentioned not being really a fantastic artist, let's say pencil and paper, pen and paper, paintbrush, and so on. And I'm right there with you. But I used to be a classroom science teacher, and we would do a lot of modeling. Hint. We're going to be having some challenges around that one, right? Hint. But this is my point. I would ask students in their journals to diagram things, and they would go, I don't know how to draw. I'm terrible at drawing. And I go, it's not an art class. It's a science class, so just make your diagram understandable.
Yeah.
If I had this tool then, I guarantee I would have another way for students to present that information and create their scientific models.
You got me
So-
kind of in the. You got me kind of in the zone now.
Yeah, I can tell.
Let me show you one more trick, because this is some of my favorites. That trapdoor on the grass blocks to make flower planters is awesome. Like, that looks
Yeah,
so
that's
good.
great.
This one's really sweet. This is probably my favorite. So if you take the campfire and you drop it there, and then you, oh wait, let's do it this way. This way is better. So let's say you have a roof and you have a campfire. If you how do I do this? I water. I want to get this right, because this one's a lot of fun. I'm going to put the campfire here. I'm going to water bucket it so it goes out. No, I'm not going to water bucket it. What am I doing? I'm going to put the trapdoors on the side of it. And if you, if imagine this was a roof.
Oh yeah, you got like a little chimney going.
This would be a chimney. Now you can bury this one down further, right? So you don't see the fire at all, and you just see the smoke coming out of the hole.
That looks great. Yeah.
As if it's a chimney. So imagine, like, you wouldn't be able to see that. You can see, I know you can see the campfire down there, but imagine this was a couple blocks higher, and you had a chimney and a roof, and you would make the chimney, with different shape, different styles of blocks, kind of like that. Yeah. And then put the campfire there. There you go.
Love
Cool
it.
looking.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah.
So-
So that one's my favorite, because I was always trying to figure out how people did that, and that one took a little while to learn that trick. But I'll tell you, people use trapdoors for tons of things that I never ever thought of using it for.
One of the most creative things that I've learned in Minecraft when it comes to creativity. So obviously having a tool where we can build and explore and create anything is creative in its own right. But the use of things for things they're not intended to be, whether it's stairs or the fences or, like you were saying, the trapdoors, is one of the most impressive things I've seen in the game.
I'm always, especially trapdoors, I'm always just stunned what people use trapdoors for, and it never ceases to amaze me. I didn't realize that trapdoors, light can shine through trapdoors as well. So one of the things I actually dislike in Minecraft is the what glowstones look like.
Right.
But glowstones give off like a ton of light. So in rooms, having glowstones is pretty cool. But if you can use glowstones and then lay a trapdoor in front of the glowstone will still give off light, and you won't actually see the texture of the glowstone, because it's covered up. So it looks pretty cool.
I have this sneaky suspicion that some of us may be on a bit over the weekend working in this realm and streaming while we do it. So if you do follow the stream, you'll get notifications. But I just have a feeling. I'm not so sure, but feeling kind of inspired, and I need to work under Mike's guidance for hours at some point this weekend, I think, and do my part. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and of course, Eric, hopefully you'll be able to join us. Room 117 is supposed to be in here with us in the realm. I hope you'll join us. Other people are welcome. We could have a lot of fun building, and this will become our submission for the COVID-19.
Yeah, there's nothing in the rules that says we can't submit. I don't think that's right. A conflict of interest at all.
No. I don't want to win, but I want to submit.
Of course.
But Eric, thank you so much. This is incredibly awesome, and I think it's the start of something big for the next. Oh, we've got Steam Cultivate joined the realm. Excellent.
Very nice.
Yeah,
I can't thank you enough for helping with the broadcast, for making this happen, for sharing some of the things that you've done so that we could create more challenges. This has been a phenomenal collaboration. And to be honest, as much as we want our students to still have opportunities to learn, to share, to be engaged, I mean, these tools are phenomenal for all of that. As an educator, I think, and I think we all are on this, I need to feel useful. I need to feel like I'm still providing something.
Right.
So this is a win-win for me. I'm absolutely loving this.
Yeah.
And by the way, a big thank you to NASEF, to the Florida Scholastic Esports Federation, to everyone who has helped on their side. So Gerald, Lila, Michelle. Yeah, all been phenomenal.
It's amazing to see how people are coming together around this situation. I mean, like I keep saying, the unanticipated positive consequences is that we're pushing a lot of things forward. We're really learning to collaborate in ways that were emerging, but now are like we don't. It's where we've got to be.
Yeah.
So I think I can't help but continue to reference the old "Life hands you lemons, make lemonade." I think we've got a lot of lemonade being made lately.
Yep.
Hey, chat, just shout out. Do you want to see a stream on building creative stuff? Would that be something like, should I just, we should stream something a little bit later? Maybe not, obviously not today, but make one of these scheduled streams, some creative building tips.
Yeah,
Hot tip.
You could be the guy, and I could press buttons on the stream and
You could be Roz.
I could be Roz.
Hey, all the people that are
nods aggressively. That's probably my favorite comment right there.
What's that?
The army that's in the dome. We're gonna replace all the purple with grass. By the way, so go nuts.
Right. By the way, so not only is nods aggressively a favorite comment, but I'm guessing Mace Windu is a Mace Windu reference. So again, Star Wars fans unite.
So now I just want to address Renchi's. You say I think it should be a challenge too for students. I don't. This is for students.
This is all for students.
Yeah, I mean educators by all means, but we're looking at students, and educators, and we're bringing community together. This is definitely for students. Cool. Well, thanks, Eric. I'll see you. Mike and I will both see you later, I'm sure, and Kathy will be with us again later.
Awesome.
And let's keep doing awesome stuff.
And we'll keep them going. And again, so I know we're going to be sharing a challenge throughout all next week. We've got one every day that we're going to be sharing. They're not due those days. They are due most likely. We're looking towards May. But should things extend in our timeline and we're stuck at home even longer, we'll add a few more.
And I see where you're going, Renchi, and I totally agree. In fact, we would love to have some students, with their parents' permission, participate in the stream. We do have some, that are now in the realm. So when we do things in the realm, they can certainly show their build strategies there. But we would bring them on stream with permission, and I'm all for that. I love having students show us the things they can do, which often always exceed what I can do, especially in Minecraft.
Absolutely.
All right, so I guess we're signing out, and thanks, Mike, for your awesome everything, and see y'all later.
Thanks so much.
Guys. Have a great day.